Back, you're still with India Business Hour Plus. Now, the mystery over the Unique Identification Authority's helpline number appearing on address books of several mobile phones has finally been unravelled. And the controversy goes back to a letter issued by the Department of Telecom in August 2013. How exactly does this tie together? Megha Vishwanath is here with the details. Megha, help us understand how that letter actually led to that number appearing in all our address books.
Now, last week, UIDAI found itself in the center of controversy when several users found an old UIDAI helpline number sitting in their phone books without their knowledge. This number was saved on the phone's memory and not the SIM card, which is an extremely important point to note. Just to quickly bring you up to speed, we at CNBC TV 18 unboxed brand new devices from different hardware makers and found that the contact list has two numbers. One was the UIDAI helpline number and the second was an SOS 112 number pre-installed on these devices. While manufacturers were different, the OS was common, that is Android. Based on our story, we got an official statement from Google, the makers of Android, who took ownership for this inadvertent error and issued an official statement. Now, Google has been criticized for calling this an inadvertent error, and there are two parts to this story, so let me quickly break this down for you. First, based on our investigation, we found a letter in August 2013 by the Department of Telecommunication, or DOT, with a subject line that says mapping of shortcode 1947 owned by UIDAI. This letter essentially directed all telecom providers to map the shortcode. A quick explainer, mapping a shortcode meant that if you dial 1947 and hit the call button on your smartphone, it would redirect you to the 1800 UIDAI helpline number. We also found another mail thread that dates back to March 2014, which was sent by the Indian Cellular Association that said mobile handset makers will have to introduce an SOS button. This basically meant adding the 112 number as a shortkey, which we were talking about. Now, there might be other follow-up letters and directives based on which we've learned from our sources that several OEMs went back to Google for technical assistance. Now, my sources at Google tell me that the company misinterpreted these letters, and instead of simply adding a shortkey, they hard-coded both the numbers in the setup wizard. That is the UIDAI helpline number and the SOS number, which is why Google is claiming that this was an inadvertent error. Now, this brings us to the second part, that is UIDAI's official statement, where the authority emphasizes that they had not asked any agency whatsoever to include this helpline number in mobile phones. Clearly, this is wordplay, because one of the letters that I referred to earlier, that is the one that was dated in August 2013 from the DOT to various service providers, clearly directs all telecom providers to map the shortkey to UIDAI's helpline number. The letter further mentions that this is in continuation of an earlier request that UIDAI itself made back in 2010 to create the shortkey. So while UIDAI may now claim that they did not directly reach out to any agency, they did so via DOT. This is common practice, and therefore for UIDAI to now say it never requested for this to be done is incorrect. So directly or indirectly, at some point, UIDAI did want this helpline number to be pre-saved on your smartphones. We hope that this helps tie loose ends and puts an end to a mystery which shouldn't have been a mystery in the first place.
So it seems Megha Vishwanath has solved the mystery for us, and it was the government who actually told service providers to add this UIDAI helpline number, which has now appeared on all our phones as well. But Google, however, calling it an inadvertent error and a miscommunication.